And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our final broadcast, or sorry, our final series of the night. Welcome back to our final quarterfinals match to Oliveira versus SKillous here in StarsWar 11 playoffs day number 1. It's been a long day of StarCraft. You can see all the matches we just had. By the way, we had Maru versus Spirit, Showtime versus Gumiho, and Firefly versus Hero. And now there is one best of 5 remaining, one series left in this night of broadcast. It's been a long one, Papi. We're almost 6 hours in already, and we're going for hour 7. I can feel it already here in this series. I expect a long back and forth. We've been looking forward to Oliveira versus SKillous all night, and it's finally here. As a reminder for those that are maybe tuning in now towards the end of the broadcast, we're going to be back tomorrow with day 2. It is a 2-day event. Today, day 1 is the quarterfinals. Tomorrow is going to be the semis. Tomorrow is going to be the semifinals, of course, covering the semifinals and the grand finals of StarsWar 11. Oh boy, here we go. As it looks like we're getting ready. Oh, T-Imba! I saw T-Imba in the crowd there. Love to see. Yo! Oh my god, the blue bands here. The fans for Oliveira. For those that are curious, they have 2 bands. They have a blue one and a red one. Red is for the red player, blue is for the blue player. I believe they are all cheering and in favor of Oliveira. I can see a couple of red bands there. I can see a couple of red ones, but mainly a sea of blue. Again, Oliveira has the home field advantage. The crowd is behind him. And can he go for a deep run here tonight? As Oliveira is the crowd favorite. We saw him just rile the crowd up at the start of the broadcast, at the start of the day, as he was kind of hosting essentially. It was great to see him, and oh boy, it's gonna be a big one. It is gonna be a big one here, and I do look forward to it. We're going to be soon introducing the players onto the main stage, and I believe they're going to be having a bit of a back and forth. They're going to be talking to the players themselves before we set up for the match, and there's going to be interviews. Essentially, there's going to be a small interview here for both players. It's going to be great to kind of bear witness to that. We're getting there. Oh, as we introduce the players.
StarsWar 11星际争霸2线下赛第4场比赛，有请双方选手登场。让我们有请 SKillous Oliveira。
Here we go, SKillous and Oliveira. They are going to be facing off here in our final quarterfinals match.
StarsWar 11星际争霸2线下赛8进4，凭热爱共传奇。
Oh, we're getting the close-ups, Pappy. And here we go. You can see both SKillous and Oliveira preparing for their upcoming match, preparing for what is to come in this series. As I mentioned before, all the players were interviewed beforehand, so they're going to have a chance here to give us a little bit of insight as to, you know, their preparations, their practice schedule, their thoughts on the patch, as well as some other tidbits here and there. So we will soon be diving into that. Do look forward to it. Again, I do appreciate always when tournament organizers do actually add that kind of flair. Do always appreciate it. And we are about to get into that as well. Currently, vetoes on the way. I believe while we're going through the kind of interviews that we have for our players, vetoes are going to be underway to determine how this best of 5 does play out. Likewise, the players have been setting up their PCs here in that downtime. Oh boy, the other brutal thing about this, of course, is not that just it's a best of 5, but of course that it is single elimination. One chance is all you have, one shot to get into this. The crowd is behind him? No, they're sitting facing him as far as I can see. Ahí está. You're an animal, Pop. You're an animal. I'm shaking my head. Ahí está. whether they're behind or whether they're in front. They are there to support. It looks like we're going to be entering SKillous' interview first. Let's go. Thankfully, there are going to be English subs. There will be English subtitles here for said interviews.
Hello everyone, my name is Nikita, also known as SKillous, and I play for Team Liquid. It will be very fun to play against a Chinese champion in front of Chinese crowd. I'm really looking forward to this match, and I think it's going to be amazing. I've been practicing a lot lately, and I've been putting a lot of attention to the game. I'm already happy to play in China for the first time in my life, and as long as I show good games, I'll be happy. Like other players, I usually play ladder and custom games, and my most frequent custom partner is probably Clem from Team Liquid. I also play against a Laser from Team Liquid. My team does a lot for me as a player. It provides me with boot camps, it helps me with practice partners, and it also supports me professionally. So we have mental coaches, we have facility, and all of this cool stuff. To be honest, I was thinking a lot about balance lately, but last couple of weeks I stopped doing that, and it improved my mental health a lot. So I try to avoid these kind of talks. To be honest, nobody mentions me ever on Reddit.
其实这次 StarsWar 谁都没想到他能欧洲区第一出现嘛，所以我觉得他以欧洲区第一出现的话，我觉得他应该线下应该会打得也挺好的。所以，但是我们也准备了很多，希望能把准备的发挥出来。今年年初到现在对自己的状态不太满意吧，就不知道是哪里出了问题，就感觉其实是有时候越想到自己拿了世界冠军，然后越心急吧，就为什么回不到当时那个状态了，就自己有点逼自己，所以就我感觉自己最近的状态不是很好，但是希望这次线下赛能尽量发挥的好一点。如果定这次目标，那肯定想在线下赛，尤其是中国的主场拿冠军啊。但是事情如何就自然发展吧。最近的话，一个是就是跟中国选手解释啊，还有碳基，因为我知道，因为我一路上去都要打神族嘛，所以跟他们练的比较多。然后剩下的基本就是天梯了。主要是我们最近的队内赛吧，我们最近队内赛其实打得挺勤的，然后对互相的帮助也挺大的。平息的问题，肯定神族最强呀。那虫族腿是因为自己的问题，跟种族没什么关系。然后人族的话没办法，人族多多选手都身体都有点毛病，要么精神有问题，要么能打好人族太不容易了。也希望平衡组能修。
True. What's weighing down the Terran races? Their weak mental state.
怎么调节？我现在看我输了比赛，黑子不黑我还浑身难受呢。我现在就每次打开论坛，就对我自己来说现在好多了，多多少少会就我基本会有时候会看一下，但是影响说实话不是很大。有时候其实比较难过或者比较生气，主要是对自己吧，就是对自己的发挥不太满意，然后对自己的发挥很生气，就没有发挥到平时的那种训练的状态，就也不知道为什么。然后的话，你说调节自己情绪嘛，这个东西只能自己的秘密吧。
Some fire words there out of Oliveira. What's weighing down the Terrans? Weak minds, Papi. Weak minds. True. Where's XY when you need him? Ay. A lot of fun. A lot of fun with that interview. Unfortunately, I missed out on the first half of it because I was panicking a little bit. Apparently, like there was a bit of a hiccup with the stream, just making sure that everything was okay. So I missed out on the first half, but always a lot of good fun hearing from Oliveira. Always. As we're settling into our TvP, we are settling in. And this is gonna be a close one. Honestly, I find it really hard to call between SKillous and Oliveira. I do think they're pretty comparable in skill. As Oliveira did state, he is specifically preparing for Protoss coming into this. Does make sense. There is a lot of Protoss here with Hero, Showtime, and SKillous. As I say that, Showtime has since fallen in the bracket, but I'm pretty sure Oliveira is feeling a little bit more comfortable in his TvT matchup. It is something that he has really been proud of in the past. And I'm sure we're going to be seeing that later on if he does eventually advance on here. But now, though, Vitos are done. And what are our Vitos? Dynasty made it in! Let's go! We have vetoed Alcyona and Amphion from the side of Oliveira, and Dynasty makes it through the veto process. We have Post Youth and Ghost River vetoed from SKillous. Again, those make sense. Post Youth, of course, being Post Youth and Ghost River being some of the more unorthodox maps. Xi'an is an interesting one for me. Xi'an is a much more macro-oriented map from Oliveira. To veto that is peculiar. To allow Dynasty through, and for Dynasty to be game 1, strap yourselves in. Strap yourselves in, Papi. I'm ready. I'm ready for some StarCraft. Let's go. Let us go. Lobby's been made. We're about to load on into our first game. Again, Dynasty's going to be featured for the first time tonight. It has been vetoed by every single matchup, every single player so far. We have not seen a single game on Dynasty until now. Let's go. Let us go. He can practice PvP with coffee though. True, true. I don't care what the Reddit part of the community is saying. I focus on my games. I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't gone to Reddit in years. It's been a long time. It's been years, Bob. It's been years. As we're diving into our game and spotting the top right-hand corner, we have Oliveira for Dynasty. For Dynasty? For CranKy Gaming. My apologies. And sporting in the bottom left-hand corner, we have SKillous for Team Liquid. Oh, they're giving us longer intros. Okay, I can use that. We're good. And I was curious. Let's go. I was curious what the plan was. If we're loading into Dynasty, it's gotta be for a reason. Oliveira sneaking out an SCB, going for a proxy ranks across the map. Now, how committed is this going to be? If I'm not mistaken, I believe there's only one SCB. One SCV out on the map, so it's not going to be proxy 2-racks Reaper, for example, or anything too committed like that. Based on its positioning, it doesn't look like proxy Marauder either, otherwise we would leave room for a tech lab. Gases are now being taken. It looks like it's just going to be proxy Reaper with not an E-way block, but with a bunker on the low ground as well. So it just looks like Reapers alongside a bunker. The goal here is to disrupt the mining and disrupt the economy on the low ground once we take our expansion. It's going to be a Gate Cyber expand here from SKillous. And here comes the eventual Reaper and SCV combo. So the way this works is with this Reaper on the way, the SCV can get behind the mineral line of the Nexus and throw down a bunker to deny mining time at the natural base to really disrupt the opener. You can see the SCV does check for the location of the natural, yet to throw it down from the side of SKillous, but soon will, and Oliveira is going to be ready to dive on that. Back at home, we have our factory and our depot on the way. Oliveira getting set up. Meanwhile, SKillous going for a... Okay, going for a Twilight Council before Nexus. What's going on? The Reaper does come across the probe. There is no expansion, as we would have assumed there would be. Is SKillous going for one base all in? Like, what's happening? Reaper is going to be shoot away from the main base. Adept is in position. My eyes are on SKillous, whether or not he throws out another gateway or if he throws down a Nexus. He's banking up resources. No. Blink is on the way. Gateway's on the way. It's a one base all in. Wait, what? Okay. We're both spicing things up. Again, this build of Oliveira was designed to punish a Nexus, by the way. It was designed to get some economic damage, and it does nothing because SKillous is doing whatever the hell he wants. We see Oliveira going for a CC at the goal base. It's further back to keep it safe, to make sure it doesn't get disrupted. SKillous moving out. 2 more gateways on the way. Let's go, Bob. It's going to be 3-gate blink. We could even throw a 4th gateway as well, proxied across the map. It is going to be an all-in here from SKillous. Oliveira still trying to piece it together, still trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Let's go. Oh my god. Double Reaper still being active here, by the way. Going up the cliff. And won't get eyes on much. Yeah, we deny the scout here thanks to the Cyber Core. Pylon is thrown down. There's the 4th gateway. It's a 1-base, 4-gate blink all in from SKillous. And with blink, we can blink over the wall. We can go over that mineral wall, by the way. So no place is safe here for Oliveira. What does he have back at home to defend? He's working on... No, he's going for a 3rd CC! No shot! Oliveira, he's getting a 3rd base. He doesn't know that it's a 1-base all in. He doesn't know there's no expansion. Stalkers are revealed. That 3rd CC is going to do nothing. That's killing him, by the way. We have a Liberator in production. That command center still in the way here for Oliveira. Blink done in 5 seconds. We need a little bit more time. At the same time, we do go for a jump across the map. We're going for the pylon. We're going for the gateways. Big move here by Oliveira. We force a recall. And the pylon is going to be going down. Widowmine does burrow. Oh, I spoke too soon. The pylon is saved. But the all-in is delayed. This is a big delay on the all-in. And back at home, Oliveira, he's getting a tank. He's working on a bunker. He has widow mines. Oliveira's on 3 CC, by the way. He's crazy. Can he survive this? I mean, he's delaying the all-in, sure, but that's still a lot of stalkers. And here we go. We dive into that natural. CC is under fire, but it's not about the CC. We need more than this. We need to bust into the main base. We need to get some economic damage done. We need to kill the tank. We need to kill the Liberator. Tank shot going to be going off. A couple of SCVs are going down. Big tank volley here on the stalkers. And SKillous, he's having a hard time finding a way in. SKillous, he can't break this. Not anymore. It's too late. He missed his window. SKillous, like, this is getting harder and harder. We're going for the scan. Now, Oliveira knows what's happening. We dive in the tanks. One of the tanks is on siege. One tank does fall. Boys are being pulled. Liberator goes down as well. And SKillous, can he clean this up? Can he close this out? Takes down another Lib. But the bunkers are going ham. Marines doing what they can as well. Cyclone does race back home. And sure, we're bleeding out some SCVs, but SCVs don't matter right now. Not anymore. Not with 3 orbitals. There we go. We dive on the Cyclone. Ooh, quick juggling there out of Oliveira. He loses the Cyclone. And SKillous, does he have enough? He does have enough. GG gets called. He breaks Oliveira. Punishes his greed. Just barely. That was a solid fist bump as well from SKillous. He was hype after that game. GG. SKillous takes game number 1. Oliveira was crazy. I mean, both players were crazy. The hell did we just watch? GG, well played. That was a wild game. Also, my apologies. Oh my god, I forgot. So it's a bit of a delay here. I was so engrossed in the game. If you're in the chat over on Twitch, predictions are open. Now, again, we're already a game in, so that may sway your prediction, but it's a best of 5, and it's only been 1 game. And this game that we just saw in Dynasty was an anomaly. Like, this game has no bearing on any other map that we're going to be seeing here today. Dynasty is very peculiar. It's a very unique map. We just saw a 1 base all-in versus 3 CC from Oliveira. Like, we're not going to see a game like that again. So, take that how you will. SKillous does take a lead, but Oliveira can definitely bring it back. So, our predictions are open in the chat for a little bit longer. For a minute. So place your bets, Pappy. Place your bets. And I apologize for not having that open before. I was just engrossed. Usually I do it after the intro, but but you know, we had a proxy going on, you know, like Oliveira distracted me. There's a potato on the desk, by the way. Oh, the potato. It's beautiful. Here we go. I'm catching up. The reverse Uno. Toss 1 basing versus expanding turret. Yeah, it was crazy. So, again, it looks like Oliveira did not scout the gateway that was proxied towards the top right. Sorry, towards the center of the map. Center top of the map. So he didn't realize what was happening. I guess he didn't piece together that it was a 1 base all-in. I guess he just assumed that SKillous had expanded. So, again, even though this defensive setup was solid, it was still broken. And that was a big investment here into that command center, into things that were not units. And in the end, SKillous barely broke him. Oh, let's see the fist bump. Let's see it. My eyes are on SKillous. Gib, Bobby, Gib. This is the moment here when he dove on that Cyclone. Cyclone went down. Medevac as well. Ah. Oh. GG, Bobby. I like how we zoomed in on that. Let's go. Oh my god. Okay, but again, winding it back here, this game was very chaotic and it was very unorthodox, but only because of the map, because of Dynasty. Again, there's a reason why Dynasty is vetoed every other time. It's got its own unique features, and now we're done with Dynasty. We're going to be entering some of these more standard maps in the map pool. That should be on the horizon here. Game 2 is going to be on Golden Aura. Oh boy. Golden Aura, is interesting itself. Has a pretty defendable third base. The third is quite close to the natural. The rush distance by ground between the two of them is very, very short, so you can actually set up quite nicely on a 3-base setup. I'm curious if if Oliveira tries to go for his own proxy again, though. As you can see, the map order here. Golden Aura into Oceanborn, into Crimson Court, into Side Delta if we get all the way to the ace match. Oh boy. Here we go. And again, Oliveira needs to calm things down a little bit when it comes to that greed. And I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will coming into this game 2, into the rest of the series. Now, something that I should emphasize here is that 1-base all-ins from the side of Protoss are very unorthodox. They're not usual, even on Dynasty. This tells us something. This shows us that SKillous is a madman. And he's also unpredictable. And it's all on the table. It's all on the table, baby. Nothing is off. I'm seeing SKillous in a new light right now. I'm ready. Let's go. Nikita. Yeah. Here we go. We're getting ready for that second game. As a reminder, this is a best of 5, by the way, not a best of 3. So plenty of games are ahead of us. And here we go. We're loading into game 2 and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have, for CranKy Gaming, Oliveira. And in the top left, we have as opponent, we have for Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0, it is SKillous. Okay, let's go. I'm calming down after that first game, after a very chaotic game 1. This time, Oliveira not sending an SCV out on the map. It is going to be a Rax back at home. Meanwhile, SKillous is scouting. He's checking for a proxy here at the linear third base. Checking at the 4th base location. And moving out. Okay, so just being very safe here. Being very safe and secure. I don't blame SKillous, especially after game 1, where Oliveira did proxy Rax. Just making sure he's safe and sound as he scouts. Meanwhile, SKillous this time going for a gate into, I imagine, gate Cybercore. Yeah, going gate Cybercore into expansion. So much more standard builds. Much more standard builds here from our players. There's that Cybercore on the way, fully walling off. And the Nexus should be soon thereafter. Interesting. Meanwhile, I don't know if you noticed, Oliveira did not SCV scout. Oliveira did not SCV scout, and he's going Marine first. So, no scouting whatsoever. This is a very Bjorn-esque style of playing. Bjorn, he's very fun. I mean, I say Bjorn. A lot of the Korean Terrans, they embrace this, where they just work with very limited scouting information and just focus on their own build. Is going to be a Rax expand. Expand hidden in the high ground, though. That's very far back. So, economic build here by Oliveira, but it is hidden from SKillous. SKillous is not aware about how economic focused Oliveira is being here. Just now going for that second gas geyser. Fun fact, this is the first this is the first Rax expand opener this entire tournament so far. Earlier today we were casting Gumiho versus Showtime, and Gumiho opened up double gas every single game. And to be fair, it's Gumiho and he's crazy and he played a lot of mech. He played a lot of mech against Showtime. It just goes to show how unique he is as a player. But yeah, it's really cool to see Oliveira going for something more economic, something a little bit more meta nowadays. It's refreshing compared to what we saw previously. Meanwhile, we're getting to our 1-1-1 setup. Reactor to Marine production. Widow mines are on the way. Interesting. We're going for a pseudo mine drop setup here. I say pseudo because I believe we could actually go for the drop with Widow mines and Marines alongside them as well. I'm curious if we move out with the Marines or if we keep them at home. Meanwhile, back at home, SKillous is going for his tech of choice. It's not going to be a Stargate. We saw a lot of Stargate play from Showtime earlier today. But here we see a Twilight Council for Blink. And not just Blink, there's 2 more gates on the way. It's going to be 3-gate Blink out of SKillous. He could even throw down a 4th gateway as well for 4-gate Blink Stalkers as an aggressive opener. For now, 3 gateways. Now, 3 gateways gives you map control. We're going to be able to move out. We're going to be able to apply some pressure, contain our opponent. Not really push in too hard, but pressure and aggression nonetheless. As now we have the Robo on the way. That's going to be for the Observer. It's going to be for the Warp Prism. Here comes that mine drop. It's only going to be the Widow Mines. We're leaving the Marines back at home. It's going to be 3 mines in total, making our way towards that main. Again, we have plenty of Warpins available. We have plenty of army available to us here. SKillous trying to keep up with the movement of Oliveira. Depth doesn't shade in. Drop headed towards the natural, not the main. Oh, SKillous not quite in position. Mines are dropped. Quick reaction here. We do pull away. Some burrowing from Oliveira at the same time. He's zoned away from the main base. Mine shot goes off. Widow Mine goes down. And Oliveira is going to be trapped here in the corner of the map. Good defense so far. Adept shades into the main base. We get eyes on the 3-1-1 setup. We get eyes on the delayed Raxes and the faster start. Well, we already saw the faster start, but with the drop. So SKillous should be feeling pretty safe overall. And now he can move out. Remember, he's got Blink. He, I believe, didn't go for the Prism first. He's going for the Observer instead. But as I mentioned, we can just contain our opponents, but we are skipping Warpins. So SKillous, he does decide to skip some Warpins here, and he's going for Forge and a Forge and Charge alongside it. So very gateway-centric here at SKillous. Very much so. Does mean that he's going to be delaying of Robotics Bay, delaying splash damage in favor of charge lots. Mind Drop coming back in. SKillous, does he react in time? Ooh, late reaction. Does pull away. Mind Shot is going to be going off as well. Quick last second split there. 2 probes go down. That could have been so much worse, and we will clean this up. The medevac goes down, and so do the Widow Mines. Oh, that was almost disastrous for SKillous. Almost. But he does defend. Getting into the rest of his gateways, getting to his third base. Likewise, Oliveira building up his bio army with stim, with combat shields. Oliveira will soon break out. I say that, my apologies. He's going for a drop instead. He is spotted. Spotted by SKillous. Does escape barely with that Stalker. Remember, stim isn't done. The Stalker was safe. And you can see SKillous try to chip away at this army, pick away at whatever he can. So far, Oliveira not losing much of anything. Moving out with reinforcements. Stim is now done. So is combat shields. +1 on the horizon. It's a very strong timing for Oliveira. But SKillous does have force fields. There we go. Stim on forward. Good blinks out of SKillous. Retains all of his units. You can see he's trying to bait in the army. Oh! Mine Shot is going to be baited out. Widow Mine goes down. Reinforcements on the way. Now the goal for SKillous is to slice up the army. It's to cut the army in half with his sentries with those force fields. We'll see if he can. Immortal production underway. Oliveira going to be, shutting down that Cybercore from the low ground. Going for the Stalkers as well. One Stalker goes down, we depower the gateway. Cybercore does fall, which means we can only reinforce with Zealots. Good pick off here by Oliveira. At the same time, SKillous going for a Zealot counterattack. Looking to deny any kind of third base. He's going for the main army. Show us the force fields. Ooh, the first one gets baited out. Oliveira doesn't commit. Second one as well. SKillous, a little bit scared there. Not liking his chances, just buying time. And we have the bay on the way. Cybercore is being rebuilt. Additional gateways. Third base now being taken at the triangular third. It is going to be spotted by the Observer. And that main army of Oliveira still threatening the third. See SKillous force fielding the ramp. Now these force fields have been to deter the army. We have yet to really catch any units. Speaking of, Zealot Rabbi runs into reinforcements. Oh, Zealots are going down. And Oliveira, his army supply is getting out of hand. Again, he's been very careful with his army and he's barely lost anything. As I mentioned before, these force fields from SKillous, they've been deterring the army, but we haven't been catching anything. We haven't been killing any Marines or Marauders. And now we're on the low ground. On that low ground. Good kiting here against the Zealots. My shot's going to be going up. A lot of Zealots going down, and you can see SKillous, he has to pull back. The army stims on forward. We dive on the sentries. We dive on the Immortal as well. Better force fields. We keep the Immortal alive. Oh my god! The Immortal survives. We cancel the base. The base is canceled just in time, but but tanks have arrived. And the overcharge is about to run out. He's also trying to come in from behind. Oliveira does notice. He pulls back. Tanks are still going off. Zealots are getting caught out. SKillous having a hard time engaging. Yeah, big tank volleys once again on those stalkers. Again, SKillous trying to surround that army, but it's just not happening. He will catch reinforcements. He gets a marauder and a tank. Not a bad counterattack here, getting into the mineral line. And Oliveira, he's coming back home. Ooh, big move here by SKillous. He gets 7 SCVs. And Oliveira, with the arrival of this Colossus, there's no pushing up the ramp. There's no way to push up that ramp, not against a Colossus. And not with these Zealots wreaking havoc back at home. More Zealots on the way. SKillous now moving out with his main army. I believe he's still on 1 Colossus. The second is on the way. We have another group of Zealots ready to go in for a counterattack. But SKillous needs his 4th base. Again, we're even on workers. Oliveira's ahead, and he's going to be outpositioning his opponent. He's on the high ground. He's on that high ground. Just barely sieging up. The first tank is going to go down. Big pickoff. Tank falls. Liberator gets pounced upon. The Colossus is exposed, but we shut down the Vikings. We keep the Colossus alive. And here comes that Zealot run by. Oh, we do only get 2 SCVs. Liberator was in position back at home. Oliveira he holds, but so does SKillous. And again, SKillous, he got a tank, he got a Liberator. He shoot back the army. And now SKillous is in the driver's seat. He's about to be on 3 Colossus. His 4th base, it's getting up and running. And now he's going to the 4th of Oliveira. Yeah, we do force a cancel. 4th base is cancelled. That run by coming in once again. We're going to be pulling back. We can see that Oliveira, he's refining his army, getting into more Vikings. Ghost Academy is about to finish up for Ghost production for EMPs. But we need some more time here. Again, the Ghost Academy is delayed for Oliveira. It is later than we would have liked to have seen. And here comes SKillous. There's that window. Before any EMPs, these Chargelots and these Archons, they can wreak havoc. And here we go. We blink on forward. We dive on the 3rd base. There is 1 tank in position. But we can focus it down. And the tank does fall. The other tank trying to reposition as well. The Colossus raining down. Not really with the main army, but now we're getting closer. Yeah, the swipes here are insane on the army, on the SCVs as well. And it looks like SKillous, he's breaking through. Snowballing out of control. He breaks through the main army, getting on top of the tanks. The ghosts have arrived, but a little bit too late. GG gets called, and SKillous takes a 2-0 lead. Whew. GG, well played. Again, that was a very tense game. Oliveira initially had the advantage as he was very careful and patient with his bio army. He was able to build up a hefty tank count. He was denying the 4th base and containing SKillous, but the key moment there was when Oliveira could not push up the ramp into the 3rd, and he was being punished back at home with Zealot run-bys. Eventually, it forced him to turn around. It forced him to come back home. That gave SKillous the breathing room he needed to build up his Colossus count, and then suddenly the turns tabled, and SKillous was in the driver's seat. Suddenly, he had the map control instead, and because Oliveira was so aggressive, that's why his tech was late. His tech was delayed, I should say. I'm referring to his Ghost Academy, referring to his Ghost, referring to his 4th base as well. A lot of that was kind of put on the back burner because of how much pressure Oliveira was applying, and in the end, he could not break SKillous. Instead, he was broken. GG. GG, well played. And I feel for the crowd. It feels bad, man. I mean, Firefly was doing well earlier against Hero. Like, it was a very close series. And Oliveira, he's the reigning world champion. He arguably should be favored here. I mean, we saw the colors earlier. We saw the blue wristbands in the crowd. We still see them even. There's a lot of Oliveira fans here, and Oliveira is struggling in this series. He's down 2-0, 1 more loss, and he is out of the tournament. Now, I'm sure Oliveira is still going to be here in day number 2. Like, we saw earlier that he's quite close with, like, the casters and, like, the production team and stuff. And, you know, he might even be, like, a guest caster or something if he gets knocked out. But the reality is, he wants to play. You know, he wants to compete. He wants to be here representing his region, representing his country, representing his people. And, you know, I can get behind that as well, right? It would be really cool. I mean, Firefly wasn't able to make it through, right? So we need a representative here in the semifinals. But things are looking dire here for Oliveira. Things are looking dire for him. He needs your help. He needs your support in the chat. It looks like we have asked for a small break. I don't blame our players here. I mean, SKillous is on match point. It could all be over. So Oliveira needs a moment to kind of calm things down, to think things over, plan out what is going to be brought to the table here in our next game. To theorize a little bit, game number 3 is going to be taking place on Oceanborn. Okay, Oceanborn. Similar rush distance by ground compared to Golden Aura. I would imagine that Oliveira is tempted to be hyper aggressive again on Oceanborn, and you can be more successful. Fun fact, one of the big differences between Golden Aura and Oceanborn, we spoke about it at the start of game 2, about how one of the features of Golden Aura is how defendable that third base is. Because of the ramp. Because of how narrow that ramp is as well, and because of how close the third is to the natural, the third base here, or the linear third base on Golden Aura is very defendable, very difficult to break. Contrast that with Oceanborn. Oceanborn, the third base is much more vulnerable. The third base, there is no high ground. There is no ramp at the third base, so you have to, as a defender's advantage. That is not true. That is not the case. The third is a little bit more vulnerable to these kind of attacks and to this kind of pressure. At the same time, though, as much as I want to say that, I don't know if it's wise to go for the same build and the same strategy 2 games in a row. Even though I do think that this style and strategy would have worked better on Oceanborn, I don't know if we want to do that again here, just because SKillous is going to be a little bit more primed to prepare for that. So it's a rough situation to be in here for Oliveira. That's the thing about StarCraft, is that there's kind of layers that go into like a game and into your strategy and into your builds. When it comes to like how often do you want to play a certain way, you know, how often do you want to mix it up. It's something that you do have to consider, take into account. But we shall see. But now our players just taking a moment here. It looks like maybe there's some issues over on SKillous's PC. I saw like a crowd of people around SKillous. I don't know if there's like something going on there. Potentially not. But we are taking a moment here before the next game. Again, it could be the final game of the night. Here we go. SKillous unleashed Ghostbusters onto the Ghost Academy. Oh no, Papi, oh no. Who you gonna call? Nikita. Ay. Este SKillous. Yeah, we're just going over the crowd. Oh, that's a fancy outfit. There was someone like in a more like traditional dress, gown. Are there more cosplayers? I'm unfamiliar if you're actually. So I do know that at StarsWar, this event, I believe there's multiple esports. And multiple tournaments happening at the same time for other games. So I think it's like a convention, I assume. So there'd be people coming in and out from other esports? Question mark. If anyone knows for certain, let us know in the chat. I do know that that StarsWar 11 does house at least other esports, but I'm not sure if there's like, you know, other stages around and there's like a convention and all these stalls and stuff like that. Unfamiliar. But regardless, here we go. It looks like we're getting ready for game number 3. It's going to be on Oceanborn, we did mention before. Again, it has its own unique features, is quite different compared to Golden Aura. Spoke about the third base, and there's even more to get into. But for now, The lobby is being set. And does it all end here, or is this where Oliveira starts the comeback? And I'm hoping for a comeback. I want to see Oliveira take some games here, especially in front of a home crowd. I'd love to see him take it here to SKillous and even force a more back and forth series at least. But here we go. Getting ready for that third game. Interesting poses for both SKillous and Oliveira. Interesting. SKillous with the come at me, bro. Oliveira with the Yu-Gi-Oh card drawer. You've activated my trap card. Pot of Greed. I do. Let's go. So we're getting ready for that next game. And here we go, we're letting it. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the Chinese Terran player himself, the blue Terran representing Dragon KZ Gaming, DKZ. It is Oliveira. And in the top left, we have his opponent, we have the red Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. Again, SKillous is up 2-0. He is one game away from taking this entire series and advancing on into the semifinals to face off against Hero tomorrow. As a reminder, Hero is waiting for the winner of this series in those semis. The semifinals is going to be played tomorrow alongside the grand finals as well. It is going to be a Protoss opponent waiting for either of these players. And SKillous is so close to that semifinals. Oliveira, the pressure is on. The pressure is on. Not just the pressure of the game and being in the situation, but also the fact that the anticipation of the crowd as well. We saw how many people, how many fans that were out there cheering for Oliveira. And that's another kind of factor as well. You don't want to let them down. The pressure of playing in front of so many people as well in your home country. Yeah, and I'm hoping for a back and forth. We'll see. For now, it is going to be a Rax Expand from Oliveira. Once again, it is a single gas opener from our Terran player. Meanwhile, SKillous going for a Gate Cyber Expand. Standard opener out of SKillous. Economic opener out of Oliveira. See where this all takes us. Interesting. Oliveira, he is once again going for the CC on the high ground. So he's going for a bit of a safer opener here. I mean, it's still Rax Expand, so it's economic, but a safer variation of it to keep it in the main base, to keep it hidden from the opposing player. Likewise, we do see a Marine first, so just like the previous game, there is no Reaper and there is no SCV Scout. Oliveira is playing blind, he's playing in the dark. Probe Scout is coming in, the probe doesn't see the CC on the low ground, and we shouldn't see it in the main base either. We shouldn't have the vision for that. As the probe is forced back, Marine is revealed. And again, if SKillous went for a proxy gateway, or if he went for a Zealot first, for example, then there would be no way to punish the CC as it is safe behind the wall. Oh, as we have our tech of choice, a Robo Opener, not a Twilight Council. Okay. So we don't have Blink Stalkers, we don't have Phoenixes with a faster Robo. This could go a couple of different ways. We could go for additional Adepts, go for a War Prism, and harass in the bases here of Oliveira, try to pick up some workers. Likewise, this usually leads into a fast Bay, into fast Colossus production. The downside is you have less map control, because you have no Blink Stalkers, you have no Phoenixes, no secure way to shut down drop play, but with faster Colossus, it shuts down any kind of bio-aggression, and it can hit a very strong timing with eventually 3 Colossus, as you're going to be able to get up to that count far faster than normal. Meanwhile, the first stage is here, War Prism. War Prism's on the way, that's so we can juggle across the map, that's so we can apply some kind of pressure here. As the Depth shades in. Depth does shade into the main base, we get a full scout of the main, we confirm the CC, we confirm the lack of atoms on the starport and on the factory. Is going to be Widowmine into a drop. Ooh, Mine Shot goes off, takes down the Adept. Solid mine connection. Widowmine even saved as well, good control out of Oliveira. Marines are getting picked off, but we keep the Widowmines alive, and we are setting up for our drop. Meanwhile, behind this, there is no Bay. Interesting. So, SKillous opened up Robo, and he is going for a fast Twilight Council as a follow-up. this is risky here. It's quite risky to take up this quickly out of your initial robo. This can lead into blink, or it could lead into charge. Blink is more often than not the upgrade of choice, though. We'll keep an eye on SKillous. Meanwhile, this Prism doing a great job at keeping Oliveira busy. The mind drop was denied. The mind drop. Oh! Oh my god, SKillous with the control! The juggling, papi. Saves that Stalker, baits out the mine shots. Marines push forward. Stim is not done, by the way. I mean, it's nowhere near being done as we were lacking those add-ons. And we retain all of our Stalkers. Meanwhile, that is going to be charge on the way, not blink. Let's go. Additional gateways on the horizon as well. SKillous mixing it up quite a bit here against Oliveira. Because he's going into charge, we can stay on a lower gas count. We can prioritize, of course, mineral income, taking a faster third. Already on location. Meanwhile, Oliveira, being a little bit greedy himself, going for his own third CC, SKillous scouts. He sees the fast third base. He's aware of it. He knows. And he should be feeling pretty safe. You can see there are 6 more gates in production. Did I say 6? 8 more gates. Oh my god. What is that? 10 gates? Jesus. It's going to be a 10 gate 3 base all in. And I was going to say that he can get away with all these production buildings. We can get away with skipping warp ins because we see the third CC of the Terran player. We know that there's no early push. We know that Oliveira is not moving out anytime soon here, as Stim just begins. And back at home, SKillous is getting into all those gateways, going for a 4th Nexus. Let's go. We spoke about this because SKillous is playing very Zealot heavy. You can stay on a low gas count, you can prioritize mineral income, you can take a faster Nexus as a result with your booming economy, or with your booming minerals. And we're going to have a lot of Zealots. It's going to be a lot of charge, let's pappy. Meanwhile, Raven Harass coming in. Raven does scout the 4th. Does get eyes on it. Gonna get a couple of probes at the third base as well. Charge is revealed. Important scout here by Oliveira. He also sees an abundance of gateways in the main. Hasn't seen all the gateways at the natural though, so he isn't fully aware of what's going on, but he's got most of the idea. God, that's gonna be a 5th base on the way. Haas, is that you? Again, Haas popularized this style many years ago. I want to say like around 2018, 2019? Back when Haas... actually, I want to say it was maybe around the first year of EPT, which was 2020. So 2019, 2020. When Haas, he was basically, instead of going for like nothing but cheese, he was like cheesing in a different way. He was being hyper greedy. Hyper greedy here in PvT, going mass charge lots. And Haas was doing really well for it at the time. And we do see SKillous being active. He does come across the drop. Not able to shut it down. Marines dropping at the 5th. Headed towards the 4th. Threatening the main base here instead. You can see that SKillous is having a hard time keeping up with the drop play because there's no Blink Stalkers, there's no Phoenixes. And saying that he does find a drop. Full medevac goes down. Chargers are pushing in as well. He does catch Oliveira out in the open. This is what SKillous wanted. And he wants to fight in the open. He's going to try to bust into the natural base. The bunker goes down. No repairs. And we flood in. Yeah, we do flood into the natural base. The tank is exposed. Boys are being pulled. They have to be. They're being pulled away from the 3rd. And SKillous, he's snowballing out of control. The tank has fallen. The boys are helping. Zealots are slowly going down. And it looks like Oliveira, he does hold on to his natural, but he lost 32 SCVs. Oof, that is a critical amount of damage. Oliveira, he's running out of economy. He's running out of workers. And the Zealots were not cleaned up. No, the Zealots are still here. They bust into the main base. A bit of friendly fire with the mine shots as well. Across the map, Oliveira's been cleaned up. And Oliveira, he barely has anything left. He's down to a handful of Marauders. And I was hoping we would have a back and forth. I was hoping we could extend this series here, but it looks like that is not going to be the case. SKillous popping off here at StarsWar 11 against Oliveira. And again, with a much more unorthodox style. What I was going to get into, when you go for a mass charge out composition like this, you have to be defensive back at home. You have to wall up. You need SimCity. You need tanks. You need Widow Mines. Oliveira got caught out in the open, which is exactly what SKillous wanted. And that is the strength of this build. And SKillous, he breaks the natural. GG gets called. It's gonna be a 3-0, and SKillous will advance on to the semifinals. GG, well played. Congratulations here to SKillous. It is a little bit bittersweet here. I mean, SKillous, he's a great guy. He's so humble. He is a great guy, so humble and so easy to get behind as well. That was the word that I was looking for. It's not humble. What am I looking for?
Hello, everyone.
But it's bittersweet because Oliveira, of course, he's playing in his home turf, his home field advantage here. The crowd was behind him, in front of him, was all around him. Unfortunately, Oliveira will bow out 3-0.
You used one base sewing. Is this specifically designed for this map?
Yes, it's specifically designed on this map, and I invented this build just before the series. I was so surprised when I played this map, so I had to come up with something because I didn't have a build prepared.
No shot. SKillous just said he came up with game one on the spot, Papi. Or just before the game. The one base all in, which makes sense. I've never seen that one base all in before. SKillous, he's an animal. They're like, what happened in game one? He's like, I just, off the cuff, you know, I just... One base all in, Papi. Just did it. It worked. Never done it before.
During the series, I feel like most of your plays counters Oliveira's build. Is it like your preparation coming into this series?
I don't think it necessarily countered it, but I was just executing the strategies I prepared very well, so it was easy to react to what he's doing.
他觉得他的打法其实并没有非常的针对，只是今天他的状态。
Zerg in the tournament. Yeah. None of the Zergs were able to make it through the qualifiers. If you were here, we did cast the qualifiers. I think it was like almost 2 months ago at this point, the qualifiers, and yeah, the Zergs were knocked out. Raider went down to SKillous.
So you'll be playing Hero tomorrow. How do you feel about that?
I'm very excited. It also will be best of 7. I don't get to play best of 7s often, so it will be very fun.
他觉得非常的激动，而且明天的比赛对阵小黑豆比赛将会是 BO7 的比赛，他并不经常能有打 BO7 比赛的机会，所以他还是挺激动的。
好的，那今天的发挥非常出色，也希望你明天能够有更好的发挥。那么我们的赛后采访环节到这里告一段落了，把画面交给我们的解说席。
I was hoping for another translation. But GG, well played. I'm just catching up in the chat. So Zergs in the tournament. Yeah, the Zergs, they failed to qualify. It was Solar, DRG, and Rainer. They all got knocked out in the qualifiers. But Dark also didn't participate. I think it's because he can't travel. I'm curious if Dark is going to be going to DreamHack Dallas. So yeah, I'm uncertain as to that, whether he can or can't travel because military service is coming up. And obviously Cyril didn't partake in this event either because he can't travel at the moment. He has to pick and choose what events he can partake in because of military service as well. So that kind of did impact the Zerg representation. But regardless, we have the best Protoss and Terran out there competing in this event. So it's great to see them all face off against each other. See in the chat, I'd have to disagree with, I see Macrocosm talking about how, like Katowice was an accident. I think we've seen this before. I think we've seen like Macrocosm like coping a little bit. I don't think you could ever get away with saying that was an accident, especially with WTL afterwards. If you remember, it was Oliveira competing. I think I said this last time you said this. It was Oliveira competing in WTL afterwards and also dominating there as well, taking down some big names. So it wasn't just one event. It was more, I guess, a period in time. And then we spoke, if you remember, we spoke about how it was post that where Oliveira couldn't travel. So he actually did stop competing. That was when there were rumors around that Oliveira would retire because he couldn't actually travel to the upcoming events. It was DreamHack Yongshiping. It was also Home Story Cup. And that led to, and he even spoke about it. He spoke about how he lost a lot of motivation and he stopped playing, which was a shame. And yeah, we've seen Oliveira pop off time and time again. I would say that this was an upset. And congratulations, of course, to SKillous to bring Oliveira down GG, well played. Again, it is a big shame that the Oliveira just wasn't able to take a map there, especially in front of a home crowd like that. Hoping to see more of Oliveira in the coming weeks and the coming months. We have the highlights, and I believe we are done here for the night. It was a long broadcast, 6.5 hours, Papi. 6.5 hours. Let's go. Let us go. Hold on. Just paying out said predictions. But yeah, with that, our broadcast is done for the night. We're going to be back tomorrow with StarsWar 11. Day 2, the playoffs. It's going to be semifinals and the grand finals thereafter. I believe it's going to be mirror matchups. It's going to be Maru versus Gumiho and Hero versus SKillous. So 2 mirror matchups back to back, leading into the grand finals. At least it confirms that the grand finals won't be a mirror matchup. It'll be a Terran versus Protoss. Which Terran and which Protoss? We'll be here to find out. We'll be here to find out. Let's go. Coming into this series as well, I'm honestly really looking forward to the TvT. Even though I would say, and I would stand behind Maru saying that he's like the best player, that Maru's like the best Terran player in the world right now. When it comes to the TvT matchup specifically, if you remember, we spoke about how there are certain TvT specialists, and Gumiho is definitely a one that can bring Maru down in a TvT series. So that's going to be a spicy one, especially because tomorrow, best of 7s. We're done with the best of 5s. Best of 7s are going to be coming up next in those semifinals. And for those that are curious, it's going to be a best of 9 grand finals. I think the first best of 9 of the year. Again, best of 9s are very uncommon. We rarely get to see them. You don't even get to see them in like these big premiere events. It's usually a best of 7 finals. So we're going to go the distance. We're going to go the distance. You know, this might not be the last of Dynasty. May not be the last we see of Dynasty. We will most likely see it in the coming day as well. So exciting stuff. Exciting stuff, man. Exciting stuff. Let's go. So look forward to it. Do look forward to it. I believe our schedule is clear outside of that for the most part. Let's see. Yeah, we're just going to be covering StarsWar 11 tomorrow, followed by the ESL Open Cups, ESL Open Cup Asia, we have ESL Open Cup Americas, we have, of course, the Ducklings Showdown on Tuesday, and the return of WTL next week. As a reminder, there is no WTL this weekend, as it is on hiatus. It is on break for this weekend for StarsWar 11. So this weekend we have StarsWar 11 instead of WTL. Here we go. I'm just gonna stick around a little bit longer here because I don't know if they're gonna like do something. I'm uncertain if they're gonna like maybe have like an interview or like have like another showcase or something. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, well, we have the matches. We have today's matches here. We have our day wrapped up. And again, if you missed out on some of these games, I do recommend checking out the VODs, just because they were some killer games here. Gumiho versus Showtime was a lot of fun. Maru versus Spirit was quite a dynamic TvT as well. Was very close despite the scoreline. It was a very close TvT. And of course, you can see tomorrow's matches ahead of us as well. Firefly versus Hero was very chaotic. If you missed out on that PvP, it was wild. It was very, very close. There's a world out there where Firefly forces the ace match or even just takes the series. Very close games in that PvP. It was crazy. I have to catch up on Gumiho versus Showtime now. I missed it. You missed out on Mech. You missed out on, this is a teaser, okay? A teaser for the best of 5 that took place. We saw Mech versus Protoss more than once. just bear that in mind. I do recommend it. It was a beautiful series. It was great. It was very chaotic, a lot of fun. Check it out. Do check it out. Here we go. As yeah, with that, I guess we're gonna be wrapping up here tonight. Suppose we're gonna be wrapping up. Just again, waiting to see if maybe there's gonna be some other showcase here. There shouldn't be a show match or anything like that, and so we'll see, Papi. We'll see. I do love that there's a potato on the desk. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Give us potato. Oh. Okay, looks like we're wrapping up. Looks like we are wrapping up for tonight. So again, thank you so much everyone for watching. Thank you so much everyone for the support as well. We'll see you guys tomorrow for day number 2 of the playoffs of StarsWar 11. Oh my god, you can see the crowd moving out there. I think they're having some signatures. And we'll see you mañana.